Hey everybody! By request, I've had a lot of people wanting to know how to rig leader to line, line to reel, and all this stuff, so I figured why not do a rigging video series. So today's the first one in the series, and what I'm going to do is show you how I put my braid on my spinning reels. And it's the same for the bait casters too. So what we're going to start with is Teresa and I's favorite, the blue camo braid by Spiderwire. I use 15 almost exclusively on the flats. Why do I use 15? I'd love to use 10 because it casts a country mile. But if I end up hanging a big bull red or something, I would really struggle with 10. You could probably pull it off, but it would be a real battle. So 15 seems to be a really nice balance between long range casting and still a lot of strength to catch these monster Jackson bull reds or a shark or something that would pop up on the flat like we see here in Pensacola. So, this is what it looks like if you buy it off the shelf at Walmart or Academy. But I've got a big old spool down here because I use 15 so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it off the spool. Now back in the day, we used to have to take some monofilament line and lay a bed on these reels. And then we would tie in the braid because braid will slip. If you just take an old reel and put braid around it, the whole bundle would slip. But now they've gotten ahead of the curve on a lot of these reels. This is a pin clash, but almost everybody's starting to put this little gripper. Some people put rubber. This is almost like grip metal. And it grabs the braid and keeps it from the whole pile from slipping on the spool, which is a beautiful thing. So all I'm going to do is I can tie directly to the spool nowadays on most reels. So I'm just going to go through the first eye. And, you know, everybody's got their own way of doing this. I'm just going to show you how I do it. And I'm just going to do a series of overhand knots. I'm just going to put it on there and just tighten it down on that grip stuff. Look. I'll just do 3 or 4 overhand knots. Tighten them down. And even if I'm not on that grip right now, as soon as I start wrapping, I will be. And I have on my workbench, I've got these new flush mount line cutters. It's like the ring portion, and it just adhesive sticks there. I got one there, one there. See if I can pull it off here. Yeah, so there we go. Alright, so you need to make sure you flip your bail up, tie on the spool, so when you flip your bail down, it's engaged to reel. Many a day I've tied it on here and gone to reel and it's not underneath this little deal, so gotta tie it again. That's real frustrating. So you need tension on the line. You can do this by having somebody take the spool and put a pencil through it or something and just give you a little tension. I saw Jose, he would do this one time. You take a paper towel, fold it up, and you make a little finger sheath basically. Put the line in there, and then you run it through your fingers like this. And then that'll give you tension on that line. If you're by yourself, I can add as much tension as I want by bending my fingers. And that braid won't cut my finger because of the paper towel sheath. So now I can put a decent amount of tension and resistance on that braid and it'll pack on the reel. You don't want it real tight, but you want it to pack firmly on the reel. Now I'm going to spool this thing until it's almost full. If you put it too full, you'll get wind knots real bad, especially on a bait caster. So I'm going to spool this thing until it's almost to the lip. I'll show you. This is a pin clash and I'm putting it on a McCain Kayak Series red spin. The pin clash is a 2500. We use 3000s more often. 3000 with 15-pound braid is the sweet spot for inshore, right, Teresa? Mm-hmm. That's kind of where we found it to be. 2500 is really good and light, but it doesn't pick up as much line as a 3000. And a 4000 is just too big and heavy for the flats. So 3000 is the sweet spot, baby. 15-pound braid. Landed a lot of bull reds and bull jacks on this 15-pound braid on the flats. No problem. 7-foot rod, medium, sweet spot. As light as you can afford. I'm going to fill it up to where all that black is gone and just the gold is left. It's probably an indicator that they made, because it looks about right. All right, so now we're done. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this with my line cutter flush mount. All right, check that out. We just spooled a reel, a spinning reel. Your bait caster is the same thing. Approach it the same way, no different. But you see how I left a little bit of a lip on there? You want a little bit of a lip. If you fill it all the way full, when you go to cast, you're gonna get a big wind knot or a poof. If that starts to happen, pull 10 yards of line off, cut it, start fishing again. Pull. If it does that again and messes up wind knots and stuff, it's just because you have too much line on your reel. Keep back, cut a little bit more off until it stops doing that. It happens 100% of the time if you fill that spool up too full. Hey, I'm going to do a bunch more. Next, we'll probably go braid to leader. What do you say? Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time right here on Tips with Ty. What?